Hey, guess who it is? Jeffrey Paul. Why would I be holding up such a thing except maybe I was playing with my grandchildren? Well, the reality is today's sharing and lesson inspiration and empowerment of you today that I'm going to share with you is based on a syndrome that has affected so many people's lives to know who they are or not believe who they are or completely have a falsehood of understanding who they are. It's called imposter syndrome. And imposter syndrome is something we all suffer from. And yesterday, for those that didn't get to see yesterday's program, you want to catch it on my YouTube channel. But the reality of leading you into this lesson, let me go back one step to talk about what I shared yesterday on the inspiration so we can move into a real life application teaching today, a little longer than our normal session, in regards to the syndrome that absolutely paralyzes you to live a life that is not you. You may be feeling like you're the lion one day, and then you might feel like you're the alligator one day, and maybe you're just so silly you feel like the silly monkey one day, and you feel like you're a fraud at times, and that's what causes you to really be a problem to yourself. Well, let's talk about yesterday. What was yesterday's lesson? Believe. What are you believing was my question yesterday. What are you believing? Because all of us are using that processor all the time. We are believing. And I used the example was like Niagara Falls. Whatever is flowing over Niagara Falls generates a power, negative or positive, faith or doubt, worry or confidence. It doesn't matter because your belief system is active 24/7. It's the way God made you. So, Jeff, what am I going to do with this information? You're going to change your life from the inside out after today's message. I guarantee you, if you follow the instructions that are there. I had a wonderful opportunity on my TV show to really interview so many people, but one that I just recently interviewed was Dr. Morgan Francis. Dr. Morgan Francis from Arizona. She is a clinical psychologist, works on negative image. Now, I interviewed her because of women who've lost their hair, children have lost their hair, because that's my specialty, and on my TV show that begins May 1st, the teachings and sharings and interviews and storylines are based on that specific. But you know what? If you've lost your identity, if you've lost your image, you really have done the same as someone who's lost their hair or lost a limb. You've lost you. You've lost a part of you, if not all of you. So today, our goal, our journey, our challenge will end up trying to bring you back to the correct observation of who you are. Now, another little book that I borrowed from my children, Valentina and Giovanna, is the Mirror book. And the Mirror book is amazing because as you look in the mirror, I don't think you can see that, but if you look in the mirror, you can see yourself and you become in the mirror what you're calling out on the other page. What does that mean? Inside of all of us, we have a mirror. We have a mirror. Psychologists talked about it. 1 Corinthians 13:12 talks about it, that we see in a mirror most of the time in a dim image. In a dim image. We don't really see ourselves. And there's three principles of how we have a self-esteem about ourselves or a recognition of ourselves or understanding of ourselves. And you know what that is? How you see yourself. So if the mirror is distorted, if the mirror is broken because of a problem, because of a situation, because of words spoken, because of belief, or how others see you. Number 3 is how you perceive others see you. I'm giving all this groundwork because it's really important that you relate to this syndrome, the imposter syndrome. So often we don't know who we are, and because we don't really know who we are, we feel like fraud. So if you had a good day, tomorrow you're not sure that anybody's going to really believe that was you. Does that happen to you? Well, the truth goes on in regards to the syndrome that takes place within our heads. Who are you? Who are you? When you look in the mirror, who do you see? Well, here's who you should see. You should see someone precious and wonderfully made, designed by God to be the carrier of Him, that gives you the power, the divine power to do anything you could ask or imagine, because greater is he that is in you than anything that your physical or natural state could ever accomplish, want to do, or want to be. Because we are failures at times. We are stumblers at times. We are fools at times. We're all kinds of things at times. But that doesn't make up who we are. Who we are is who the image and likeness within us is reflecting through our belief system. Did you understand what I just said? Who you really are is who God made you to be. Psalms 139 says that he made you precious and wonderful. Why? Because you are carrying the Spirit of God within you. You are a child of God. And with that knowledge, no longer do your shortchanges, your problems, your circumstances, what people said about you, the mirrors that they created for you or broke for you, or the faces and masks they put on you, right? They're done. Once you recognize the very fact of who you are. And you know, Marianne Williamson wrote an incredible quote that you've got to look it up. But it talks about our deepest fears. Let me just read you just the first line of it. It says, our deepest fear is not that we're inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. Yes, but the broken mirror and the dim image that 1 Corinthians 13:12 talks about continues to blur our vision of who we are, who we really are. And so we get lost in life and don't know who we are. Now, you might say, well, Jeff, am I the only one with this situation? No, I read a number of articles recently that from the top, in fact, they say that this syndrome, in fact, I'll read it to you from the internet Google search that I did on this very subject because it really intrigues me. It listed a number of incredible people that are high achievers because it generally appears in the life of high achievers, and it's the description is that they an inability to internalize their accomplishments, their inability. Now here, let me give you an example, a real simple example. How many of you have somebody said to you, "Oh, what a nice top, Christy. Christy, that's really a nice top that you're wearing," and you say, "Oh, this whole thing?" Or somebody says, "Man, your hair looks really great today," and you say, "Oh, it's just a bad hair day." And you almost skirt off or push away the compliments, the way that they're seeing you. Have you done that? Have you done that? If you've done that, that's part of this imposter syndrome. You hide behind this mask because you really don't know who you are, and you can't internalize the good because you have internalized the not good, the negative, the they said about me. That is where we're going to change today in the challenge that I'm going to share with you today. Now, listen to me. The most important thing that I can share with you in this syndrome is that we all have it. From time to time, we all have it. If you just admit that, then you have the first big step towards realizing, okay, then who am I, Jeff? I want you to get a piece of paper. And you know on Sundays you got to get paper and pencil or your iPad or whatever way you want to take notes. But I want you to take notes for this. So I'll pause for a second and let you get that piece of paper or get something out to write with. Okay, that's pause enough. And now I want you to write this down. I want you to write very powerful words down. I believe I am. I believe I am. Put a line underneath the next word that is not yet there. I believe I am beautiful. I believe I am intelligent. I believe I am capable of doing all things. I believe I am loved. I believe, and I want you to constantly write as many things on a piece of paper with those words and then you filling in the blank. I'm not asking you right now to write what you think is true. I'm asking you to write what is absolutely true by God's word for your life. You are precious. You are wonderful. You're at the top. You're not at the bottom. You're at the head and not the tail. You're blessed in everything that you do, coming and going, everything you touch. You say, well, Jeff, where am I going to find these things? Here's a little address. Deuteronomy 28, verses 1 through 14, talk about who you are in God's eyes. And back to what I said earlier in 1 Corinthians 13:12, it says this, and I'm going to read that to you for sure. It says, for now I see only a reflection as in a mirror. Then, when you get done with this exercise, then you should see face to face. Now I know only in part of who I am. Then, when I really write these things down, when I really start to believe them by faith, not by what I see, not by what I hear, not by what I've done, not by what I've accomplished, but I believe them by faith, I shall know fully, even as I am fully known by God. You want to know who God thinks you are, not who the people around you think you are. You want to know who you are, not by who you have internalized through circumstances and situations in life that has created this false image, this mask that we live with. In fact, wow, what a beautiful sunrise outside my window. Can you see the sunshine coming in? It just illuminates this message right now because the message is so important. You are a sunrise every day. You are precious. You are beautiful. And you have to say those words and activate Niagara Falls in your belief system that I believe I am able. I believe I can start a business. I believe I am to be married. I believe I can have a happy life. Oh my goodness. I want you to do this exercise. I want you to just write down, I believe I am. And I want you to continue to fill that over and over and just write until you're exhausted of writing. Once you've done that exercise, then it's so important that every day for the next 21 days, hear me now, 21 days, and let me challenge you with this, and 21 times a day, you read at least a series of those, I believe I am. Now, I know you're not going to go. If you really exhaust the list, you might have pages of it. So I'm not asking you for 21 days to read all of them every day 21 times. That's not realistic. You're not going to do it. Then you're going to feel like a failure, and you'll have another mask up there, okay? But I don't want you to be like the elephant and forget. I want you to be like the elephant and never forget. I want you to go for 21 days. First, exhaustively write down, I believe I am what? And write everything that you've dreamed about, want to be, desire to be. Don't worry about everybody else. And don't ever worry about what everybody else says to you about you. You focus on what's in your heart, the heart that is truly where your wellspring of life comes from. Now, once you've exhausted it, and I'm repeating myself because I want you to remember this, for 21 days from today, the second day of April, 21 days out, I want you throughout the day, almost like every hour. You say, Jeff, I sleep some of the time. Yep, then sometimes you got to do it 2 times an hour during the 12 or 14 or 18 hours you're up. But go through at least 1 to 3, maybe 5. I believe I am what? I want you to do this exercise. Please commit to it. Please commit to it. And if you commit to it, give me a comment that says #believe, #believe, and allow me to continue to pray for you and encourage you throughout the next 21 days that you are more than you could ever ask or imagine. You are able to do beyond what you could even imagine possible once you believe. Once you believe. One last point of reference that I want to share with you. It was interesting when Jesus was out with the boys, and he said, hey, Peter, who did they say I am? Who did they say that I am? And, you know, he went through a list of things that they said that he was. And he looked at Peter and he said, who do you say that I am? And Peter, inspired by the Spirit, said, well, you're the Son of God. You're love, and it's in being. You're divinity. And he said, that was not exposed to you by flesh and blood, or intelligence, or learning, or teaching. It was revealed to you from God above. As you do this exercise, I'm going to believe and pray that you have that same inspiration from above. Who are you? You are precious and wonderfully made. You are magnificent. You are a miracle. You are beyond any gem in the entire universe. You are you. But you need to believe it, because without your belief, the activation of the power of God himself cannot produce what you truly have been divinely destined for. And I want you to hit your destiny. I want you to be in the fullness of your destiny. So exercise and challenge is here for you. Hash mark, I believe. That's the comment that comes back. Second, you're going to start a list of I believe I am, and you're going to fill in the blank, and you're going to write and 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 write. And the next 21 days, you're going to 21 times a day, somehow, some way. And if you fail, I am forgiven. I believe I am forgiven, and I'm starting again. I'm fresh and new, forgetting what's behind me, and I'm going to strive to the new goal for today to hit 21 times. No guilt or condemnation, Romans 8:1 says. Okay? So that's your challenge today. That's your life-changing experience and exercise. Put it to work. Put it to work. It can't do anything just on this Facebook Live. It can't do anything just in the notebook. It's got to be put in your life, put into practice, and watch it change your life. So give me the hash mark believe. Give me the likes. Share this, because everybody's got to become who they are. Everybody has to believe who they can be, no matter what their life has dealt them. No matter how good it's gotten, it can get better. So let's go to the best of the best. Are you ready? So, thank you, Sandra, for the hash mark. Believe, I see that's out there. Rosetta, good to have you on board today. It's just been incredible. Christy, it's just a blessing to see you always. All of you that are out there are watching. I want you to know it's so important that you believe. Believe who God has made you to be. Believe it and see it and live it and enjoy it to the maximum, because that is abundant life, and that's what I'm here to bring and share with you. So live abundant life. Remember the exercise. Play this over again so you catch all the points of reference, and get ready to see your life transformed by the renewing of your mind. Romans 12:2. Have a beautiful day. Can't wait for you to share back with me what you experienced. Over the next 21 days, we're going to walk together and we're going to see transformation. Everything is good. Have a beautiful day and enjoy the beautiful sunrise that is sparkling in my eyes. I'm going out for a walk. Do the same and start confessing out loud, by the way. Well, here's a little addendum. Confessing out loud and looking in the mirror. I want you to look into the mirror. Look into the mirror. Look into your eyes, into the mirror. It's a technique that I teach in my workshops. Look into your depth of your eyes, where the windows of your heart are exposing your heart, your belief system, and speak with confidence. I believe I am whatever. Continue to look at yourself and speak as if you're fighting a battle in front of a jury that is for life or death. And it is your life. So let's get going. You got your challenge, 21 days, 21 times a day. Let's transform our lives. Have a beautiful day. Chip, good to see you with us today. Have a great day.